What is going on, guys? This video is super late. I know that I forgot to upload all week. I think this was week 7, right? Cedar Lake. Um, God, just really disappointed in this one. My best starting spot in a feature all year. And then, really just absolutely kind of bombed it on the old setup. And tried something I hadn't used. And big mistake, big mistake. This is the heat race here. We qualified actually pretty decent from what I thought I was gonna be. This was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th. So we call it highest qualifying position so far this season. On the newest track, so not everybody really knew what was going on. You know, we don't have years of experience on this track like most of the other ones. And some of these guys were really good on here already. So not a place I had ran too often coming into it. At this point in the season, I've just been kind of winging it. And didn't really have anything set up for the feature, so we tried something brand new, and it did not pay off. You'll see right here, we get a little break in the heat race. A couple guys get into each other, and then we kind of just tuck in underneath. And this was really, really close here. My cockpit view of this, everything looks different on the replay. But these cars are kind of doing the blinky thing in front of me where they're like right here, and then they'll jump to this line, or they're right here and then they'll jump right here. So it was really difficult to know where everybody was at. Rumsey at this point, I think, was like half of his car was like in the wall, and then him and Mason just get together, and I tried to I didn't think that they were gonna actually slow each other down. I thought they were going to be able to recover and kind of keep driving, so I figured I was going to stay on this line here, and at the last second, we make a little bit of contact with Rumsey there as he's spinning to the wall, and we're able to fill in underneath without, getting much damage or anything like that. Just a little minor 2X. Mason was able to keep his foot in it and stay in third, and then the heat race kind of just fills out that way. This was heat race 2, so I would start the feature 6th, and it all just went downhill from there. We got out to the warm up, and I tried some brand new stuff, and I thought that the car felt okay. But about really quickly into the race, it started not going very well. So, see if I can get to the actual warm up here. So we get to the warm-up, and I'm trying to run laps on the top just to see how the car feels up there. I thought it was going to be up there for quite a while, and I didn't feel bad. Like, I felt like I was stable, and this setup was going to be tight enough to be able to hold on to for the 35 laps, and just battling early on with some guys. I got stuck in the middle of the track and lost, some positions really, really quickly. I think I fell back to like 10th pretty early on. And didn't really get a chance to run it as much on the top as I wanted to. So we start 6th, and everything's okay for a little bit here. We got an early caution on lap 2, you can see. And, coming into here, it's just like I said, like I hadn't ran very many laps here. I mean, a review of this race isn't going to be very long because it's just kind of an uneventful, basically last place finish, last car on track at least, or almost last car on track. But even when I fell back, I still wasn't doing real bad. This felt, when Tyler pulls up in front of me here, I felt a lot closer than it was, and I should have just filled in behind him and stayed on the top here, and then I just get kind of trained around the outside by a couple cars. 3 wide stuck in the middle, some net code there with Gao. Caution came out, and then we restart again. Back in 7th, I guess? Yeah. Restart in 7th, and immediately I was like, alright, let's get back up to the top, and then just felt like I couldn't get my foot in the gas like the guys in front of me were. Like, these guys felt like they were pulling away, on entry, through the middle, on the exit, and down the straightaways for sure. And I just felt like I could not get my foot in it like they were. And I had the wing back almost as far as it would go. So I tried to go back to the middle there. Didn't realize Mason was on that line. We bump a little bit. Try to stay out of everybody here. Just keeping the car under me as much as possible. I get passed by a few guys on this one lap. And yeah, just through the slick. These guys seemed like they were able to put a lot more power down than I was. And I just couldn't get the drive in the slick that I really, really wanted. And I figured, well, maybe I can cut as much of this track off as I can, run that little slider line in 3 and 4. Wasn't very fast. And then get caught in a kind of a slider battle here with Hayden for a minute before eventually I just go to the bottom and really just file in there. There's not much to review on this one, really. Just wasn't good enough. Wasn't the right setup to put in there. Battled hard as hard as I could for as long as I could, but come lap 10 here, I figured that, you know, these guys were just so much faster than me on the top that I thought I could run the marbles in the middle and the bottom here, and I just couldn't. The car was just so loose, and these guys were getting the power down so much more than I was able to in the slick, and just losing all kinds of spots. And then eventually I hit a tire somewhere in 3 and 4, and I don't know how caution didn't come out. I was 90 degrees sideways and somehow was able to get it off the infield grass back on the front stretch and keep it going right here. Just so many I mean, you can hit the tires quite a bit, but you can't hit that many in a row. So here, lap 15, not quite halfway, and I actually finished. So I'm in 15th on that lap, and I actually finished 14th, so I didn't really fall back anymore. Cars in front of us just started wrecking, so I don't even know how many cars are behind me here. There's quite a few cars behind me here, but, 4 or 5 maybe on that previous lap, but eventually cars in front here would wreck out, or guys behind us or just in front of us would actually DQ out. So was able to get lucky and not finish dead last. But coming into this corner, I had just made contact with Ducharme as he tried to make it 3 wide in the middle. And I didn't want to slide up just in case he was there, and just couldn't get off the tires. Caution, thankfully, doesn't come out. Able to keep my foot in it as much as possible to not cause a caution or anything like that. And, you know, we're in 17th all of a sudden. So Tyler would wreck, and then I think Newhoffen and Zane, actually Zane's still behind me here, I think they would eventually X out, so that's the 3 spots we picked up. Yeah, just awful decision on setup, and I don't even know who that was. Ducharme wrecked. How did he do that? Oh, he rode the wall. He got up on the wall and just broke the rear end and couldn't save it. I think the caution came out. Yeah, caution came out. And restarted in 17th still. And then Zane and Newhoffen would eventually X out here, and then Shell, Rex, and that's the spots we get, really. Zero excitement in this one, and that's why it took me forever to put a video together, because I was just so frustrated. It's just me running right through the middle of the track, just trying to survive, hoping guys would rack in front of me, hoping guys would DQ or whatever it is, and just get some easy spots that way. That's where Cole X'd out right there. That was a free spot there. I don't even know how that was a 2X. So at this point here, we're 12 to go-ish. And that was a 2X and enough to put Cole out of the race. That was kind of silly. The incident limit is such a frustrating thing to have to deal with, because stuff like that is a 2X. And no matter what's happened previously throughout the race, whether it was his fault or it wasn't his fault, or just, you know, rubbing a tire wrong and getting a 2X, it's just a silly thing for a guy to have to be out of the race because of that. It kind of takes away the whole simulation aspect of it. You know, they want us to pull around to the pits and not tow after the race and stop on track or Alt F4 and stuff like that. I mean, that's basically an Alt F4. That's what that is. You know, and it's just kind of a silly thing to have an incident limit where a guy might not have done anything wrong the whole race, and with 12 laps to go on a tiny track like this, contact is going to happen, whether it's with the wall, whether it's with the inside tires, whether with a car, getting in the back of you or getting in the side of you. And that happens 6 times and you're out of the race. And you only get 12 X's, 2X for every incident. And, that's just, man, it's a tough subject to talk about because, it hasn't happened to me yet. But, yeah, this is me here just trying to farm safety rating after I had already been in a bunch of incidents myself. There's no way I'm catching these guys in front of me, so I figured might as well not go to the wall anymore and potentially wreck myself out of this race or give myself any more safety rating I got to work towards next week. But yeah, this was just a painfully bad race. Just driving it through the slick here, Wheeler here behind me with no front wing keeping up. His car's halfway wrecked, and that's how bad my car is in front of him that I'm probably sitting here holding him up for the last 20 laps. But just such a frustrating, just really, really bad showing on my part in the feature. And I got lucky. I got a 14th out of it, honestly. That, and then we'll have in the next video. I know I'm doing this race pretty late, but Kokomo just this past week put together a fantastic setup for the feature after being absolutely awful in the heat race in the B main, and basically driving like this in the heat race and in the B main, and then put a setup together in the feature that had picked up 7 spots in 8 laps before a caution kills me. So I'll go into that one in a little bit more detail, but that's the end of the race there. Seriously, just nothing to really talk about. This was just so frustrating. That's why it took me so long to make a video, and that's I threw away the setup immediately. I literally opened up my file explorer thing, went to the Lernerville setup folder and instantly deleted it. Something I'll never run again for sure. Just too much experimenting going on with trying stuff that I've never tried before. If there's one thing I can suggest, it's if you're gonna run something, make sure you've practiced with it a little bit, because you might end up looking like this. So just an ugly showing. Nothing else really to talk about on this one, guys. Go ahead and end this one quick so you don't have to suffer with it as much as I did, and then I'll go to the Kokomo one right after this. But again, thanks for the subs. Thanks for watching. I know this one was awful to watch, probably, if you're even still here watching. I'd be pretty shocked, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. This was week 7 Cedar Lake. The next one going to be week 8 Kokomo. And again, another frustrating one, but we'll get to that when we get there. See you guys.